Hey guys, Total Control 871. Welcome back to BitChute. Welcome back to Rumble. Welcome back to Free Speech. Welcome back to the battle and the fight for medical freedom, medical equality, civil rights. Okay, just got a couple of talking points here because it's tick-tick-tock. It's like 10:20 right now. And I did want to get this out before midnight so that you know that I did make it back home. However, I am not calling today's battle a victory. This is going to be a real short, this section anyway, is going to be really short because I want to jump over to some of the undercover video and do some talking points on it. But let's see. I guess you can call today a tactical retreat. Tactical retreat, the only reason why, because there were some things that were mentioned in the undercover video. When I got there, my appointment mysteriously vanished. Okay, that wasn't by accident. And they're trying to claim that there is, that no appointment was ever made. Of course, you can't do this because there are phone records that verify this. And when this all goes to court, because trust me, we are going to go to court. Talk about that in just a minute. We're going to go to court, and phone records are going to get subpoenaed, okay? And once you're put under oath, let's see you lie, okay? Because what's eventually going to come out is the office manager or somebody in a similar position is going to come forward and say, well, yes, there was an appointment at 1:15, but we canceled that, because we don't want Mr. Dunbar's business anymore. Unfortunately, they don't get that choice. They don't get the luxury of that choice. I am a protected class. Christians and my particular version of Christianity, meaning to not suffocate, to not virtue signal, okay? I am a protected class, and I am entitled to all of the protections that come along with that. So, like I say, one of the things that I wanted to regroup and talk to you about was central bank digital currency. I know you're like, I thought this was about medical. It is. Hold on a second. Let me grab a Halls. Oh, thank God. I'm so glad I had one nearby. All right. Let me see. How can I say this? And the card is all over there. Well, I'll just simply tell you. They make... Let's see. Maybe I can show you real quick. Now, my insurance, Clover Health, they where is the card? The card. Okay. Let me see if I can. Yeah. Hold on, there we go. That should cover it. All right, so what you're going to be paying attention to is, hold on. Had to pull back so you can see the Visa. It might be spelled backwards, but obviously, it's only 4 letters. So, card. This is issued by your health insurance company, or at least mine anyway. And what this means, okay? This means that it is a precursor to central bank digital currency. And this ties together in with the health care. Now, as I shared with you previously, my food stamps were slashed down to $95. Unfortunately, the sky-high inflation is still there. So they destroyed the economy, collapsed the supply chain, all deliberately now. None of this was, as Janet Yellen would say, whoever thought that would have melted mouth. Whoever thought that? I didn't know it was going to be transitory. Shut up. All right, just shut up. That's Janet Yellen's sole purpose. To get in front of the camera and feign ignorance. That is it. That is her sole job. She is paid to feign ignorance. Okay? So, central bank, digital currency, health insurance, food stamps slashed. As most people know, that food stamps are already restricted to only non-cooked food items. Got it? Got it. Your health, like last year, they were handing out like, I think 80 bucks every 4 months from the health insurance. So this is the health insurance credit, okay? It's not currency, it's not legal tender, it's just credit, you know? And it would only cover certain things. Now, these things, they could be non-food items, like if you needed an ACE bandage or a wrist brace or a thermostat. What else? Like things that you would find in a first aid catalog and stuff like that. You know, in the CVS aisle. So very CVS type things. Okay, that's what you could spend that money on that, or you could also spend it on groceries that are more restricted than looking around to see more restricted than food stamps. So let's see. The health insurance credit, because I don't call it money. It's not money that they're giving you. The health insurance grocery credit, it will pay for milk and healthy type foods, but it won't pay for chips. It won't pay for, you know, ice cream. Definitely not alcohol or things like that. Now, those are things that that food stamps will pay for. Okay, but this stuff won't. So it's even more. So it's more restricted for food items. However, it's less restricted because it will pay for items that are non-food related. As a matter of fact, I think, you know, the next time I have a copay, I'll try and, because you have to remember, you forget the damn card is in your wallet. I'll have to see if they will utilize it for a doctor's, like a primary visit, you know. If I think it might cover your copay, possibly. So there are things that are non-food that it will pay and cover for. So now, like I also was saying previously, every time I try to use because I get $45 in this credit, health insurance credit. Every 4 months I get $45, and I have been trying to use it because it expires the end of next month. And yeah, remember, we're talking about central bank digital currency, and it expires. All right, remember the caveats that the independent journalists are always telling you about. These are the warning signs. What I'm talking about right now is the warning signs that so many independent journalists are trying to warn you about. Matter of fact, let me get up. I'm gonna go get the old card so that you can compare, and I want to show you something. All right, I think I got this. This is last year's card. On the back of it, there is a barcode and a card number on the back of it. Okay, as you can see, there is no logo on this whatsoever. This was last year's card. I hit stop. That's okay. I gotta stitch all this together anyway. So, like I was saying, this was last year's card. It's got no logo on it. It's got a barcode on the back. And like I was explaining to you, the grocery items are more restricted than food stamps, but it's also less restricted. You could buy other things. Now, like I say, no logo. Then this year they bring in Visa. Okay? Now remember, this card was transferring the benefits just fine because we're talking about slippery slopes, in case you're wondering. Transferring just fine. Utilizing the barcode. It has no magnetic stripe on it whatsoever. However, on the back of this, there's also a barcode and a magnetic stripe, but also we see the Visa logo. Indicating that a bank is facilitating these funds. Now remember, these funds are highly restricted, even more restricted than food stamps. Are you watching? Are you paying attention? Okay? Why in the world? Why do you need Visa? Why do you need a banking institution suddenly to become involved? You were doing it just fine. Logically, you can only come to one conclusion. The conclusion is they're laying the groundwork and the infrastructure for central bank digital currency, a form of payment. It'll be a form of payment that's going to utilize the same type of cards you've been using, with all the same logos on it that you've been using. But then everything I told you, just like how I said, I was trying to use my 45 credit points, or whatever you want to call it, and I kept getting denied. I found out there was a reason why, and I'll talk about that in just a second. And this is what's going to happen. Now, as all of this, I want to tie this into today's Medcom visit, okay? Because I just told you that I was going to tell you about why my 45 credit points were being denied at the register. Those credit points were because they changed everything from last year. Before, you could just simply scan the barcode on last year's card, and it covered whatever it covered, and whatever it didn't, it didn't. And this year it wasn't doing anything with food. The 45, in other words, the points are segmented in this health insurance. It's also, the $45 is purely for something like a cough drop, or let me see, what else could I possibly, I can spend $45 on this. Or this, okay? It's for that, for over-the-counter medications, things like that, okay? And that's just for the $45 ace bandage, rubbing alcohol, anything that you would find in the CVS or Walgreens, and also they have their own catalog. Clover Health has its own catalog that you can pick up a phone call and order from, So I think that's kind of what they do prefer. They prefer that you pick the items from their own catalog. So that's what that 45 points, credits is used for. Now, when I called to complain about why was my card being denied at the register, and that, my points are about to expire here, and that's when they explained to me, well, that's the $45 just for everything I just said. And what you're talking about for grocery, you have to take, I hope you are listening, you're going to have to, how do I want to say this? Do I want to say participate? I guess that's what it is, You have to participate in their Live Healthy society. They want you to watch videos. They want you to go to the doctor. That's where I went today. Today's visit would have earned me $150 in their grocery. So I can use it for so this is different than the 45 credits. This is $150 in grocery credit. Okay. But of course I can't get that. Why can't I get that? Because I'm not the type of citizen that gets awarded central bank digital currency. Are you watching? Are you paying attention? Are you connecting? Are you connecting how today's visit is directly connected to this fictional currency that they are rolling out and getting you addicted to, getting you used to? Hard cash is going away. Those twisted cards in their logos, that's what you're going to be paying your rent with if you can get the credit. And the only way to get the credit, well, you're going to have to be able to be the right citizen. Jump through their hoops. I think I got that written here in my talking points. What have I got here? CBDC. I got good citizen jumps through hoops. You're going to have to jump through their hoops in order to get the credit, in order to make up, like how they took away your food stamps. It could even be argued that perhaps this was all working together in tandem. They know the insurance is still, I keep saying insurance, and they know the inflation is still too crazy high. And they took away the food stamps. They're going to force you. Okay? Oh, yeah. And in case you're wondering, yes. Of the different categories of things to do and participate in, vaccinations is definitely one of them. You can earn up to, I think it's something like 450 credits, not dollars. Because remember, they're restricted. They're going to tell you what you can use them on. They're going to tell you if you get them, and if you get them, what you can use them on. So I wasn't able to make my doctor's appointment today because I'm segregated from the healthcare system. I'm segregated from the healthcare system because I am not the type of citizen the government wants. Are you paying attention? Now, my social worker, she's a new social worker. I just got her. She seems really good. Very nice lady. What did I write here? I said new social worker. Had eyes opened about the fake pandemic because we're talking as we're driving along and whatnot. We're getting to know each other, and one of the, because there's, good God Almighty, there is a terabyte, multiple terabytes of information that I wish I could just transfer to her mind. Like I said, it's not her fault. There are just so much of the population that has been cultured in the mainstream media bubble. I just, with a mere flex of my independent journalist powers, shall we say, because she was like, wow, so you think the pandemic was fake? Well, what makes you think that? And I talked to her about how the hospitals were empty and all the tent hospitals, they cost tens of millions to erect, but those screen partitions and army cots, I think each one of these field hospitals, but they were all set up inside buildings that were already standing. It's not like you broke ground or anything, So they're probably something like, 50? Maybe the bigger ones, $100,000 worth of equipment. As a matter of fact, scratch that. I don't think the government owns any of that crap. It's probably each one would maybe have been like $10,000, meaning rented. The screen partitions, the cots, they had like chairs, and some of these field hospitals had like little nightstands with a flower on it. Nightstands with a flower on it. And what was really cracked up was that they had like a chair for what? Visitation? Ooh, I thought we were under lockdown. I thought you had to just simply say goodbye to your loved one and watch them die on a screen. I thought that's what we were doing. And it's like, but the government was billing millions of dollars. It was a massive money laundering. And she was like, you are right. And another thing that I pointed out to her, I was like, one of the things that tripped me out when you would see the nurses, these so-called candid shots of nurses slumped down in hallways, having emotional breakdowns because they just can't take to see another person die. All staged for your benefit. Think about it. Healthcare professionals freaking hate you. They don't spend 1 second outside, being on the outside of that nurse's desk where they can just shield themselves from the public. They hate the public. They hate you. They don't want to be around you. They don't want to talk to you. They don't want you asking them questions. They don't want any of it. When they get done with whatever task, change a bag, whatever it is they got to come into your room to do, they do it and they immediately leave and go back to the nurse's lounge, back to their work desk station, and that's where they go, and they go back to talking to each other. They hate you. There is no falling or slumping down to the ground and breaking down and uncontrollable sobs. No, there's none of this shit. None of it. And then I really blew her mind when I said, what did you think about all of those dancing doctors and dance routines? She was like, oh yeah. And then I looked at her, I was like, tell me, did you ever stop to think that while we were in the midst and the grips of the COVID and how everybody was sick and dying and how the nurses were and the doctors are overwhelmed, and yet they could come up with complex dance routines? She's like, oh, you know what? You're right. But then I really had to open her eyes. Like, you understand those dance routines. You had to teach it to you had to teach to the others. Teach it, choreograph it, practice it, rehearsals before you record them. She was like, oh my God, I never even thought about that. Of course you didn't think about that. You were too busy hanging on CNN's every word. And of course, from then I could just go on and on. What, 3.5 years of data. So, anywho, if I got any other talking point here, I'm going to play just a little bit of, what are we here? Claimed I have no, they claimed I had no appointment. So there's more I want to say on this, but I just wanted to touch on this and talk to you about why I did not stay and dig my heels in. I want to give my social, because she is really good. She was getting on the phone, trying to talk to the administrators of Medcom. I already told her. Okay, they already started lying about the appointment. Okay, they're not going to return your phone calls. And then I think when I went to do the shopping, or when I went to check on something have to do with the elections and things of New Jersey primaries next month, I'm gonna do a whole separate video on that massive scandal. But she was like, at first they were taking my phone calls, but then suddenly they started hanging up on me. Welcome to my world. Soon as they knew that which client you were advocating for, click. Okay? Legal lockdown 101. Say nothing. Say nothing. Because they know they are in the wrong. The segregation. They do not have the legal authority to segregate and turn away service, not on the grounds of a protected class. Okay? If you recall from the original video, there was no screaming, shouting, cursing. I was a normal citizen. normal citizen wanting normal, non-segregated healthcare. They chose to segregate. They know, in the I don't want to repeat because he wastes time here and then it just goes to say it again. But there's a special part of the undercover video that I'm going to play for you where I was trying to tell this receptionist at the desk, because she wasn't even there at the original. She wasn't there at the original incident. I think she might be new. And they also put up this big poster on the wall, basically complaining about how people, apparently, I mean, I haven't been there in a year. Apparently, in my year's absence, some of their clients, their patients, have been verbally abusing them. So much so to the point that they had to put up this giant poster statement on their wall about their interpretation of the First Amendment. You know, there are parts of their interpretation that are not legally binding. You know, if you're talking about two different things. What a person legally has the right to, because you're talking about rights, okay? Rights versus what your personal policy is. You know, you can make a personal policy, and what that personal policy is, you know, how well it's going to stand up against the law is, you know. Now, it is true, in their statement on the wall, they are correct. They go on to talk about how people have freedom of speech. I agree. But you don't have the freedom from responsibility of your speech. Now, that right there, I'm going to say it again because I was coughing. They say that you have the freedom of speech, but you don't have the right to be free from the responsibility of your speech. That's where the deep state is trying to blur the line, okay? Because there are things that you can say to people that are legal, but it is also true that in the context of a private business, that were you to say it, it would indeed be grounds for them to turn you away from service, you know. If I, you know, flip out on somebody, call, you know, you fucking bitch. Fucking bitch is my right to say that. And that's protected, First Amendment. However, you are using coarse language that would indeed give cause for them to kick you out, not serve you. So I got the right to say it, but they also have the right to not be verbally abused. You dig what I'm saying? But they're trying to blur the line here as if to say that you don't have the right to say it. You see what I'm saying? You know, so there's more I guess I could say on that, but I might, in the B-roll of this, I might do some added commentary, but the point that I am saying is that I found it very interesting that a patient like me, safe and sane and sober, somebody that doesn't raise, you know, even though we don't agree, I don't raise my voice, I don't scream, I don't threaten you. You know, you don't have to be worried, oh my God, it's total control lurking behind the cars when end of the day when I go to leave, is he going to come pouncing out and attack me? You don't have to worry about that with me. You see? The wild, savage animals that you see being featured on the news all day, every day, wearing, you gotta love the irony, wearing their face mask, clinging to it as they murder, kill, rape, set torches, burn down, swarm through stores like a plague of locusts, stealing everything in broad daylight, all while wearing their mask. You know, the thing that you think makes them a good citizen. They don't have to worry about not getting their credit. They're going to get their credit because they're good citizens. They're good citizens because they choose to wear the Mark of the Beast mask. Even though they're burning down your city, even though they're ripping the steering columns off your car and stealing your cars and your insurance company's dropping your ass because it's just too much of a free-for-all melee. But people like me, safe and sane citizens, we get the cops called on us. We get thrown in jail. We get put in Guantanamo bays. We don't get cashless bail. Oh no, we're considered too dangerous. Too dangerous. So I really found their posted statement just rich and dripping with irony. Absolutely rich and dripping with irony. I'm not what they want. I guess they would much rather take the masked marauder with guns in his pant pockets. I guess they can come in, huh? They can be seen, they can be treated. But not me. All right, I'm going to switch you over now to some of the B-roll, and I do believe I close out with a Total Control 871 on that B-roll. So I'm going to let the B-roll close out this video. Hopefully I can get this up to you. I'm not going to have it up in time by 12 because I got to stitch this stuff together, and I might even have to compress the file. So, I made it home. It's a tactical retreat. I'm gonna give, because my social worker wanted me. She was like, just give me a chance. Give me a chance, and I'll see if I can work this for you. I'll give you a chance, so that when I do go to court, I can say, Your Honor, I tried all options. Because yes, that's the next maneuver. I'll bring my camping chair. I might even bring blankets and a pillow. Okay? When I go back to Medcom, I'm not leaving. I probably won't even bring the blankets and a pillow. They'll call the cops on me. They'll call the cops. And this time, not even a ticket. Writing the ticket is not going to get me to stand up and leave, because we saw what happened. They just keep you in a holding pattern for like half a year or longer. It was about 8 months I was in a holding period. Case dismissed. Case dismissed. We need to start establishing our victories. This is going to be one of them. Because right now they're just simply in the deep state think tanks. Like, what was it? New York. Casilio, I never say her name right, the woman in the BMW, she was forced to drive forward past BLM Antifa rioters that were trying to break into her car to do her and her daughter bodily harm. I am sad to report that she did indeed crack under the pressure and accepted, I think it was like 5 hours of community service. You see, the feather light tap on the wrist, like not even a full tap, just a finger light tap, a one finger tap on the back of her wrist. What the government wanted, what the deep state wanted, was just simply you saying that you were guilty. Doesn't make a difference how light the punishment is. No difference at all. They just want the guilty verdict. They have been setting precedents while people, our side, has been cheering. Ooh, yay! The ticket was thrown out of court. Victory. No! That's not a victory. Forcing that woman to say that she was guilty, that she did something wrong, that is their victory. Where are our victories? All we have are a bunch of tickets thrown out of court. We don't have any precedents. You were desperate to call something a victory when it is not. We have to see things for what they are. We already have enough deception on the table. The deep state does enough deception. We're going to have to be the light that lights the darkness to see the way. All right, this will probably end up posting like 2 in the morning Eastern. Sorry, I did my best. All right, everybody, keep fighting. Like I say, I'll let my B-roll take us out, and chin up. We're learning. You live and you learn. We're going to learn from our mistakes, because believe me, the deep state, they are so deep into their think tanks, combing over, poring over, in great detail, scrutinizing what they got right, what they got wrong. So when they go to do it again, how do they get it all? And I don't think they are. The size of the scam was just so big, you could never keep all of it in focus. It's like 1,000-sided Rubik's Cube. I remember when I was a little boy, because Rubik's Cube was all the craze back in them days. You know, I remember at most I could get 3 of the 6 sides one color, but I could never get it all, one color. And that's what the fake pandemic is like. It would do its damnedest to get all of its sides lined up, but it just couldn't do it. Like I was explaining to my social worker, if there was truly overwhelmed healthcare, then how come they had so much time on their hands to put inflatable balloons under their gowns, under the hospital gowns, and bounce around like they got big butts and complex, foot tapping dance routines? I mean, dances I couldn't do. Wow, you really sat down and took your time and rehearsed it and taught it to your fellow co-workers. And wow, you guys really had a lot of time on your hands. So, like I say, the size of their scam, the size of the hoax was so big, they just couldn't keep it all in sync. At no time could the whole thing be in sync. The best they could manage was getting different portions of it, which is why they had to introduce us to the concept of evolving. When they needed to quickly align one side of their scam and the other side comes undone. Oh, well, it's coming undone because we're done with that part. It's evolving. We're evolving away from that part. That is until we need to go back to it. Then we're evolving back our way. We're evolving back to it. Evolve away from it. Evolve towards it. It's all evolving, I mean, I think, what was it? COVID mandates were by your zip code. You travel to the next city over, and apparently COVID was there to get ya. Ooh. And nobody could piece it together. It was those damn things you were shoving up your nose. All you had to do was stop the testing. Stop the testing, and their fake pandemic numbers, it all goes away. All right, let's go to B-roll. Keep fighting, warriors.
I don't have any appointment for you here. Are you sure somebody's scheduled? When did you call in?
Oh, last week sometime.
Thank you. You're most welcome. Have a good day. The last visit I had scheduled was for March 3rd, which was canceled by you.
I'm sorry, say it again, please.
The last visit you went was on the 3rd of, on the 25th of March, which was canceled, and after that I have no appointments made.
No, I was here on the 25th of March. It was not canceled.
It wasn't canceled? It shows canceled here.
Nope, it was not canceled.
Let me just check. And that was in 2022.
Correct, last year.
Last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was. And after that, there's no appointment made for you.
Mm-hmm. I made it last week, I believe.
Oh, do you remember who you talked to?
I don't. If I got their name, I wrote it down somewhere, and it's not with me today.
Oh, I don't see any appointment. I mean, I can schedule one for you right now, if you'd like, but, I don't see you on the schedule. I don't know how that happened. The front desk is out today, both of them, so I don't have anybody that I can question. They both called out today, so.
Oh, really? They both called out, huh?
Mm-hmm. So, do you remember what day you called? We could check our directory. Last week you called?
What day did I call? I'm going to say Wednesday, Tuesday, something like that.
Last Wednesday, Tuesday? Okay.
It may have been Monday. It was last week, someday at the beginning of
Okay.
last week.
Okay, we can check our phones, and I'll ask the front desk when they come in.
Mm-hmm.
Who did you used to see when you came in?
And I remember I was talking to the person on the phone, and I explained to them that my insurance, they got like the OTC benefits, and you get certain credits for certain things. This is a Live Healthy, like your annual visit, and they give you $150 in credit for it. And are you familiar with it?
No.
It's.
If you have a seat, I can go and talk to the provider. Okay. You used to see Laverne, right?
Right.
Okay.
This is the Flex card. See.
Lower. Okay. So we'll have to scan all your cards and stuff because you haven't been here in a year.
That's fine. I got the new stuff.
Okay. Okay.
You want the cards now, or?
Have a seat. Let me go question her if she'll see you. Okay.
Okie dokie.
Come up, bus.
I know. I let Laverne know. Let me ask her. So our records
Hold
show
on.
that
Hold on, a little bit hearing impaired.
So our records show that last year in March, a letter was sent to you that you were discharged from their practice. Did you receive the letter?
I did receive that illegal letter indicating their segregation.
I think it's just, practices are allowed to let go of patients that they deem are not suitable for the practice. So,
Unfortunately, they don't have that privilege for a protected class. I was discriminated against for breathing normally.
it was over a mask issue, I think.
Yes, because I breathe normally and because I am a Christian. I do not virtue signal or put the mark of the beast on my face. I don't care whoever else does, like anybody else is more than welcome to do it. It is for those reasons that this establishment does not have the right to turn away service.
Okay, I will have to talk to the administration regarding that. What our policy is, because we, it's up to the man. Donna will be in tomorrow. I will question her and we'll give you a call back.
I don't think you will. You most likely will discuss it amongst yourselves, probably with your legal team, and they will say to make no statement at all. That's the standard practice these days, to give no statements so that you can mitigate any kind of liability that you're already in trouble for. So this is now turning into a protest, I'm afraid. I will not be leaving until I've been given equal, non-segregated medical treatment. I'm here for a live healthy visit. I am entitled to this, and Medcom is not within their rights to turn away service. I take it you are a woman of color, perhaps of a particular faith. They cannot tell you how to practice your faith.
I mean,
Medcom
I've
cannot
read
tell
your
me how to
discharge
practice mine.
letter.
I got the letter. I got it. The letter is illegal. They cannot send me a letter and say, Mr. Dunbar, we don't want to treat you because you're gay, or because you're black, or because you're a Christian and don't want to convert to the COVID religion. I am a protected class.
But we were following New Jersey state policy, the
And
health policy. It required everybody to wear a mask within this without endangering the other patients, and we were just following state rules.
Just
It
following
wasn't,
orders,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah. And if it's mandated by the state that we have people wear masks, if it's mandatory, it's mandatory, regardless.
No, it's not regardless. You see what you're talking about, everything you just said right there, it was outlined in Executive Order 122. And this is the type of thing that I tried so desperately to tell not only this establishment, but many others during the fake pandemic, that New Jersey, the governor's office, Phil Murphy, he made sure that he built in language that protects him on pages of Executive Order 122, pages 4, 6, and paragraph K.
I mean,
it says, please let me finish my thought. I will let you speak. Just please let me finish my thought.
Okay.
On pages 4, 5, and 6, it stipulates that persons who are either disabled, like I am, or have religious objections do not have to wear the mask. You see, everything that you see, I tried so hard to let these establishments know that you're not going to be able to invoke everything you just invoked, because Phil Murphy's going to go like this. He's going to throw his hands up and say, that's not me. It was just a recommendation. We just recommended businesses do this. We put out an executive order. However, in that executive order, we cut out exemptions for persons like me. That was an exemption that this place refused to honor. Quite frankly, all the businesses, be it medical, business, whatever, they were all refusing to honor the exemptions. That's why I had to stage my protest. And unfortunately, it's why I'm going to have to stage another protest here today. I will not be leaving until I have had equal, non-segregated treatment.
Okay. So I'm just the front desk here. This was an issue from last year. Unless I have the people who were here last year kind of update me on what went on and why the action was taken, I cannot help you. Donna comes in tomorrow, our manager. She was the manager last year. So
she certainly was.
Either that, or you can take it up with our central office in Pleasantville,
Nope.
and they would kind of help you.
I'm not moving. Right here.
Nobody's here to help you today because Donna's working part-time and she only comes Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Now you're talking about administrative?
Yeah.
I'm here for medical care.
I know, but like our provider was told that you have been discharged from the practice, so unless our manager listens to you and sees.
And she won't.
Okay.
She won't. And therefore, if she's going to ignore the law, then I'm going to ignore the letter. So there.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what I can do because Vern's schedule is full. She cannot see you, and I cannot have anybody be seen who's been discharged for practice. So, let me get our other old employee for you. Have a seat, and I'll have somebody talk to you.
Hi. And of course, like did I tell you the reason for my credit that I need to come here today?
No, for your credit?
Credit.
Oh yeah, you did. You did.
So my finances, and frankly, Teresa, from that I could segue into a whole digital bank, central bank digital currency. It's what they're trying to institute, and it's bad enough that I need the credit to make ends meet. But now, today, what we are documenting and what we see is that I am being denied and blocked access to that because in effect, even if they don't come outright and say it, it's basically tantamount to saying, you're not a good citizen. You didn't do the things that we wanted you to do. Therefore, we're going to withhold and keep this credit from you, this life-sustaining credit. So it's more than just simply health care. It's also my ability to grocery shop and purchase medical equipment. I needed ace bandages for my knees today.
We'll work it out.
So,
Do you have your consent?
So I have spoken to our manager, and she said, like, we cannot do anything because it's been over 30 days that he was discharged from our practice, and we do not proceed. We will follow our, discharge.
Is she available that I can speak to her?
She's in the other office.
In Pleasantville?
Yeah, she's our, because he's also our cardiology patient.
Okay, so you discharged him from services?
No, we discharged him from medicine honors.
Okay.
He'll still be seen by our cardiology.
And
He was seen by our cardiology.
your reasoning for discharging him?
Reasoning for discharging him is because, according to what is in the discharge letter, he doesn't bring up any discharge
Sure.
letter.
It doesn't make sense that he's still a patient there, but not a primary care patient here, if you're following up with his care. My concern is,
Because this issue happened in this office, so I guess,
well, would they accept him in the Pleasantville office?
they checked the history, and I think he was, when was he? Well, actually, he hasn't even been seen in the Pleasantville office, so, I guess because both offices operate differently as far as discharges are concerned, because that's cardiology and this is this thing. So I will just print out his discharge letter for you, and you can look at it.
Was he supplied with the reasoning for discharge?
It was in the letter, and
Did you receive it?
oh, I got the letter. I had
Okay.
it filed away. It's completely illegal, nothing I consented to, and they don't have the right to discriminate.
It's been over a year, so I don't know, I'm not updated on it, and the manager who is in charge of this, who sent in the letter, she comes in tomorrow, and our medical director is off today also because she is sick. So
Can
I
you
will-
write down both names so we can follow up? Because he needs a primary care physician, and he needs, care. Thank you. And this was his yearly physical.
I don't see an appointment being made, so I don't know. Like, the last appointment made was last year, and
Okay.
that, you know. And you can call in the office and.
Can you write their names on the back who I need to speak to? The medical director and the office manager?
Okay. She was the
Office
manager.
manager, okay. And, okay, we'll follow up.
Okay.
You want to follow up with her because they're saying they don't have an appointment. Give me a chance to speak with her and see what we can do
When will you be speaking with her?
as soon as possible. So you're saying she's not in today? Neither?
Yeah, one is sick and the other only comes 2 days now.
Which days? Which one comes 2 days?
Donna.
Donna, which
Yeah,
days?
Comes tomorrow and Wednesday.
Okay.
So we
All
can
right.
come back tomorrow?
I'll try to bring you.
I mean, it's
Wednesday
better if
we
you
can go.
call. Why make the effort to come in person? You can always make a phone call and talk to them.
Okay, but he needs to be seen. Okay, I'll do. Give me a chance to kind of speak with her and see what we can figure out and take it from there.
Okay. I'll meet you outside in just a moment.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, guys, let's take a look at what we got here. The rich irony of this notification to patients, apparently I can only assume that Medcom has received horrendous treatment by people. However, I am not one of these people. You would think that Medcom would have an appreciation for a patient like myself who speaks with kindness and dignity. Also, I want to bring to your attention the reason why we're going to make a tactical retreat today, and we will be coming back in person. If I have to come back with camping provisions, I will do it, and I will make this lobby my home until I am given equal, non-segregated health care. Also, what I wanted to bring to your attention today is, as I was discussing with my caseworker and to the receptionist, my healthcare provider, they will not release the $150 of a type of digital currency credit to spend in the stores. So the discrimination that I'm facing today, it goes far beyond just that of healthcare. It now means that my shopping trip that I was to have had today at the grocery market, I cannot do that now because I don't have those funds available. Do you now see the danger of central bank digital currency? Do you not see the danger of central bank digital currency? By instituting this type of currency with all of these strings attached, what this means is that my insurance company, along with Medcom, they're saying that I am not a good patient, or I'm not a good citizen. There you go. That I'm not a good citizen and that I shouldn't be given funds that are allocated to all the other citizens. This is dangerous. Let's keep fighting. Total Control 871.